If you're familiar with my TikTok account, which I'm under the impression you are, you know about 5 interesting stuff. But if you're new or aren't familiar, it's exactly what it sounds like. 5 interesting stuff. Number 5. The highest high dive. In 1983, 5 people held the same record at 172 feet high. This is the jump they made.
Never done this before. He does not know what to expect. He's in the air. He's in good shape. Very good. All right, he didn't hit well. Now he could have hurt himself. The dive was good. It was sound.
That is until 1985, when it was broken by nearly 3 feet higher. Since then, the new record has only climbed by 20 feet by Lazo, a man from Brazil, who now holds the record at 192 feet. That record was made in 2015, and the jump he made is higher than the Tower of Pisa. Number 4. This is a moment in 1994, Colombia vs the US World Cup game, and it's seen as the moment that caused Andres Escobar his life, as it was the moment he scored a goal against his own team accidentally. Afterwards was an uphill battle, when they eventually lost the game and went home. Most of Colombia said he did it on purpose, when it was very clearly an accident, as you can see his instant regret, but that didn't stop Humberto Muñez from gunning him down in the bar parking lot. Humberto shot him 12 times, and when he shot, he yelled out, "Goal!" in mockery of Andres. It happened in 1994, and Humberto got out of jail on good behavior in 2005. So he's likely just chilling, still watching soccer, after wrongfully murdering someone. Number 3. If you're wondering how important pharaohs were in ancient Egypt, King Tutankhamun, more commonly referred to as King Tut, was a disabled, inbred teenager with malaria that only ruled for 10 years. He also wasn't well liked by the following pharaohs, and was so forgettable to the Egyptians, they accidentally buried his tomb while discarding dirt for the tomb of another pharaoh. His burial was also seen as rushed, as his tomb was tiny compared to the other pharaohs, along with the art being unfinished and not as detailed, but still so important that he was buried with 5,000 artifacts. Artifacts that include chariots, clothes, furniture, and even over 100 canes used for walking. He was buried in a solid gold face mask, with a solid gold sarcophagus, inside another sarcophagus, inside another sarcophagus, inside of a stone slab. And just that one smallest inner sarcophagus is worth more than $1 million in gold today. And now that you see how they treated someone they didn't like, you can understand why the burial grounds of the people they did like were so magnificent. But speaking of gold, number 2. The biggest gold reserve in the world is in the Federal Reserve Bank in New York City. It holds over 6,000 tons of gold. It's 80 feet underground, carved into solid bedrock. Inside of that bedrock is a thick steel vault, surrounded by concrete. The only way in and out is through a 90-ton cylinder passage that's encased in 140 tons of concrete. It's monitored by a 24-hour motion-detected surveillance, and 3 members of the New York Federal Internal Audit Staff need to be present anytime a singular bar is moved. Weirdly enough, even at its peak, when it held 12 tons of gold, that's not even the most gold owned by a single individual. But before that wealthy gold man, as a thank you to you guys who have given so much to me by just watching, I want to finally give back to you. And that's why at 100,000 subscribers, I'll be giving away $1,000 to a subscriber. All you have to do is comment the phrase 100K, here we come, be a subscriber of the channel, and like the video. It's 100% free to enter, and once you've won that $1,000, you'll be laughing about how that was the easiest $1,000 of your life. Additionally, people who follow my Instagram account, linked down in the description, will get a bonus entry. So click subscribe because it's free, and if you change your mind, you can always take it back to the video. Number 2. The man who's owned the most gold in the world was, as you might have suspected, Jeff Bezos. Nah, just kidding, it was Mansa Musa. Sadly, the amount of gold he actually had can't be accurately calculated, but just on his pilgrimage to Mecca journey, he brought 18 tons of gold with him, carried by 60,000 people and nearly 50 camels. During his visit to Egypt, he spent so much gold, he left their economy broken for 12 years after. And being the businessman he was, he bought it back at a lower price, and gave out loans with high interest rates. But his wealth didn't just stop at gold. He had universities, salt mines, ivory trades, and is widely believed to be the richest human to ever walk this earth. Adjusted for inflation, come up with any prefix you'd want, add illionaire, and he had more money than that. But all the money in the world probably couldn't stop number 1. Voodoo death, also referred to as psychogenic death or psychosomatic death. It's defined as the phenomenon of sudden death brought about by strong emotional shock. Plainly put, your brain can be so scared that it kills itself off without your permission, as the emotion most commonly related to voodoo death is fear. It's been studied in cases of native people watching their families be brutally massacred, victims of concentration camps' daily torture, and prisoners of war for obvious reasons. While this phenomenon isn't exclusive to any cultures, it is affected by them, like the case of the Maori woman, a member of the native population of New Zealand. She lived a normal life and was relatively healthy, until after learning she had eaten a fruit from a forbidden tree in her culture. Within 24 hours, she was found dead, and nothing physically attributed to her death. she had sadly passed from eating an ordinary fruit, all because the tree was seemingly forbidden in her eyes, which can actually explain away a lot of creepy deaths all around the world, from things like cursed items to angry gods. So just know, with enough fear and enough stress on your brain could just decide it doesn't want to be here any longer and check out. Thanks for watching, guys. As you probably know, this has been my first original YouTube video in a while, since for some reason they get demonetized. But if you enjoyed, you can help me out by liking the video and subbing to the channel so this account doesn't go missing on your suggestions. But on that note, see you next time.